One of the things that you learn when you're full-time RV is that it's just full of maintenance, non-stop. It's never-ending maintenance. And I don't enjoy maintenance, but it has to be done. Recently, I had to clean the AC units, something I'd never done before, and had to figure out why our front end was sagging a little bit. We also had to figure out how to empty our tanks to a toilet 100 feet away.
Thanks for the memories.
At a place where we don't have easy access to sewer, and so we got ourselves what's it called? Not masticating, that would be chewing. It's called a Macerator Pump, and so we're actually using that, sending it down a hose into someone's toilet. And it just hooks up like this. Goes all the way over there. I have a converter to run it because the macerator only comes 12 volts. So I got this thing into that thing. There's a little switch right there. Turn it on. You can close your eyes if you don't want to see it, but it has the clear thing, just like when you're dumping your tank, so you can see when it's done. And it just sits here and just pulls it out of the black tank, chews it up, sends it down the hose. You don't use the hose afterwards. I also had Wendy go in and monitor the toilet when I was starting it, because I wanted to make sure that since it's 100 feet away, I wanted to make sure that when I turned it on, it hadn't like fallen out. That would be gross. Practical stuff, like it goes straight down the toilet, and yet it fills the house with smell. So I'm doing it when the people are away. They're very kind, and so I'm macerating. So now it finished the first run. By the way, I just conked my head oh bad on that thing. Just looking down and and it hurt. So finished down here. It just goes white and then it makes a different sound. And now I am flushing the black tank over here. Turn it upside down so you can read it. And so right now I have almost 3 gallons going in. I'm going to put probably a good 25 gallons in there, just so we can get a really good flush. And then do the macerator again. Then depending on what I see coming out of there, I will do that again, because I got time to do it. Now's the time. And then lastly, I will do the gray tanks. I like to do the kitchen first because it has food stuff, and then the shower and stuff and laundry gray tank after that, because it doesn't have food stuff. It shouldn't if you're showering right. And lastly, I will hook up a water hose to the macerator. There's a clean out thing, and I'll run it just through the hose. In my experience, having done it all of one time before this, it's not going to take the smell out of the hose. You do not use that Blackwater hose for anything else ever in its life. It's not going to take the smell out, but at least it gets the stuff out. It just feels like too much information. So this is what it's like when it's done running through. Just about crammed my head again. So I turn it off. And I'm very aware that some of you had a keen eye and just saw me move some rubber gloves aside that I'm not wearing. But I'm not really touching any poop. So now I'm going to add more. So I did another 23 gallon flush, and right away this looks like. There's still some stuff in there, but I'm pretty pleased that 50-gallon flush, I rarely get to do that much. Although I'm looking at it and I'm still seeing stuff go. I may do another 10-gallon flush just because. We'll see. I went to the toilet side of things. I'm not going to show you, that's just gross. And at the macerator, it looks fairly clean, but at the toilet, it's still pretty dingy. Not dark, but dingy. And since I got time, I'm going to just do it until I get clear. Because why not, man? So I finished with the black tank and switched over to the kitchen gray water and then to the other gray water. And ran constant for probably almost 10 minutes, which if it's taking 5 minutes to dump 25 gallons, that means I had close to capacity. Right now, here's what it's doing. So I can tell that there's still water coming out of there from somewhere. That might just be spinning its own water. I'll try it this way and see what happens. So that's what happens when there's no water. Apparently I still have some water in there. I just don't know if it's still throwing water or not. I mean, it looks like the water's coming out, but it doesn't make sense to me. I just confirmed that it's blowing air out into the toilet. Bubble, bubble. And so I'm going to say it's done. Yeah, so this is what it looks like when it's blowing air. And that actually makes sense to me. So, shut these. Then I'm gonna shut this. And then I'm gonna open that. Now what we're doing is rinsing the hose. My experience is the hose is still gonna stanky manky, but it's what we do. So this is what it looks like. The green hose is emptying, the blue and now dark green hose is just washing out the hose when I'm done. But this is 100 feet. I won't show you inside their house because it's their house, but it goes right in there to the toilet. I just did almost the unthinkable. I was putting water back in my black tank and I had it at 12, and then I set like an alarm for a little bit longer. I thought, well, let's go ahead and put 20 in. And I started doing a bunch of other stuff. I don't know what happened to my alarm. And 31 gallons in the black tank. Capacity is 50. I guess if you go 51, you have a bowl full. If you go 52, you have a house full. I'm gonna let some of this out.
So we've been parked here for like 3 weeks here in Washington, and we felt like the trailer was maybe getting out of balance a little bit. So he's outside manually lifting the front up a little bit. Anyway, now inside it's making really weird noises, and I just kind of like see if I can capture it. I don't know if you can hear that or not. It keeps making that noise and another noise, and so it's kind of weird. I'm just not quite sure what to think, so we'll have to figure this out. So did you figure it out?
It's like half a degree low, and then I lift it up to 0, and then makes all those noises and drops again. So there's something about our hydraulic system that I don't know whether I need to research it. I don't know if I have to add in oil, hydraulic fluid, or whether it's something else. I don't No.
So when you dropped it or raised it, it just dropped again? It wouldn't stay?
Yep. So I'm still learning about the Lippert thing, but what I realized is, so we're off front to rear by, when I looked at it, it was minus 0.4. So the front was a little low by 0.4 degrees, and that registered to me as 4, but it's 0.4, which is a little less than half a degree. And right now it's gone, so I put it to 0, went back down eventually to minus 0.3. But that's not 3 degrees, it's 0.3. So like that's just kind of, if you measured that on a bubble, I think you would just call it good. So I don't know, I can tell on the jacks, here, follow me. Right here. So when I raised it up, so you can see a little bit of a mark. So when I raised it up, it was an inch. From there to there was how much it had settled by an inch, and I pushed them back down by 1 inch, both sides. So it put it up an inch, and I guess over 41 feet, that is 0.3.
Well, I think we felt it in there, even just that in. Janet, all right, Janet.
And so, yeah, the disturbing thing was that it was settling afterwards. Like, hi there, Francis. You're not allowed to come out without being on a thingy. It was the settling. It's just disturbing. And personally, I can feel that it's inside. I feel like the front is down. I feel like it's back up a little bit. Like when I walk in there, it feels down. But I can't imagine that my body is so calibrated to feel not even half a degree. So I don't know. And I say over 45 feet, or 41 feet, but it's actually just back to the pivot point. So I don't know. We're learning all this. I just realized that it's not 3 degrees. It's 0.3 degrees.
And the inside crackling that we were hearing, I have you were here, yeah. What?
Right. Oh, it's the Lippert jack settling, and there is popping, and there's like a thing that I looked online that's a thing, and there's different stuff you can do to correct it. None of it seems really like we got to do it. But
we probably will end up having to
it's putting different kind of fluid in, and that just seems like it's not that big of a deal for us. So. What I do need to do is check the hydraulic fluid, but you can only, there's a reservoir, and I need to check that, but you can only do it when all your slides are in and everything is retracted. And it sits right in here. And so you have to put it on the truck, retract everything, open this up. I don't think that there's room, I've never tried it, but I think when our truck is sitting here, I don't think there's room to put this up. And so that bugs me. So in order to check it, it'll have to be like some place where you put this up, set it down on the truck, put everything up, check it, put everything back down. And,
maybe at the next campground in Oregon. Maybe we'll be there for 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. It feels better inside, but
yeah, I think so too.
It still says
and it's not making the noises anymore. It's settled.
Yeah, I have a physical level over there that it just barely shows a little bit off of 0, which I was like, yeah, it's 0.3. And so if we were just doing it by eyeballing it, we would call this good. Mm-hmm. So I'm not too concerned. It's not going to just suddenly leave us go.
Right.
It won't do that.
Okay.
It won't go. Pressing in. Old man. Do what this does. Oh, that's clean too. What the wahoogie? Alright. Okay, so this is the one side, and there the other side, and in here, that's where it sucks through. It's really not that bad. Makes me wonder why I'm doing it. But I'm doing it because responsible. Come on, there, we got it. Show you with my phone. Seems like I might have overdone it, but that's just that's what it says to do. Lather it up and let it do its thing. So I'll go do the other side. I pull this away. Meanwhile, I'll check this back here. I don't know what I'm doing. Seems like this would be a good thing to do. I know that as I do this, it's going to work it in, and the little brushes are gonna straighten out any fins that are bent. Good thing I brought a towel. It just seems like this would be dirtier. It runs all the time. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. And they say you don't have to clean this off if it's condensating, which this is condensating as best I can tell, because it drips. So it will do its own cleaning. That is nasty. I'm gonna spray some more. Almost sprayed it the wrong way. There. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. I think I can go ahead and put it back together with it looking just like that. I think it goes on this way. Say hi.
Whoa. You got a lollipop?
Well, I go get a right angle adapter for my drill gun. That thing right there. This is to fix my stupid thing. Yes! Yes, mama! I was telling Wendy the other day that RVing is hard work. The projects literally don't stop. You have constant projects if you're going to live in it. And I suppose even if you were going to just weekend camp it, if you do it right. I'm going to see what happens if I hit this with 409.